Hi everybody, I'm Elle Carolyn.
And I'm Jordan Irving.
And we are so excited to be here for the 2024 Gold Cup races. Jordan, what races do we have on tap today?
We have a lot of excitement here, Al, just like we do every year at the Gold Cup. We're going to start with the Hoffman Challenge at 11:15, which is the girls' final. Then we're going to have the Hoffman Challenge for boys at 11:30, followed with the Lotman Challenge on the women's side at 11:45. The Lotman Challenge for the men at high noon. And then we're going to have the grand finale, which is the Gold Cup for the men's final at 12:15 and the women's final at 12:30. It's a beautiful day. We got a little bit of breeze out there for the athletes to contend with.
Looks like a building tailwind, right, Jordan?
Elle, you are the expert. I simply do what you tell me. I think this is going to be a great time.
Yeah, so the races will be exciting. Of note, for the Hoffman Challenge and the Lotman Challenge, these athletes actually competed in a time trial earlier this morning. So the top 4 from the time trial made it directly to the final. So these athletes will be coming for their second race. We've seen the Hoffman Challenge girls and boys go out on the water. They've launched and are going through their warm-ups right now. And the Hoffman Challenge is for U.S. high school scholastic scholars, Jordan. So we are working with a lot of the local and on the East Coast, some of the top scholastic scholars in the region.
Yeah, and it's really an exciting thing to see some of this grassroots effort to get sculling on par with the sweep side, which is rowing with one oar, which is a lot of times what you'll tend to see if you're over in Center City on the Schuylkill. So one oar is called sweep. All these athletes are scullers where they use 2 oars. I was a sweep rower. Elle, I believe, has done both. She tells me the sweep rowers aren't as smart as scullers. I've got to believe her. But we're really excited to see that this event is bringing better attention and hopefully a bit of a groundswell to get more younger athletes participating so that we can see it trickle through on into the national team and Olympic levels.
Yeah, and interestingly, for the Lotman Challenge and the Gold Cup, we do have cash prizes on the line. So for the Lotman Challenge for the U.S. Domestic scullers, there is $8,000 for first place, $6,000 for second, $4,000 for third, and $2,000 for fourth place. And the Gold Cup is double those amounts. So first place for the international athletes will be a $16,000, second place $12,000, third place $8,000, and fourth place $4,000. However, the Gold Cup every 2 years does a really special event called the Triple Challenge in partnership with the Henley Royal Regatta in either the World Championships or the Olympics. And on the men's side, Ollie Zeidler of Germany, having won the Diamond Sculls at Henley and being the Olympic champion, is eligible for a $50,000 payday if he is able to come away with the Gold Cup win today, Jordan.
That is some extra motivation, I would say, for sure. And just really speaks to the commitment that the Gold Cup has for this event, but also speaks to the caliber of the athletes that are here participating. This is really an exciting opportunity for them. Last time I checked, I don't think that there's a lot of money in rowing, and even at the collegiate level, I don't think people are going to be hitting the transfer portal to get the NIL payments, right? So this is really a unique event that makes it awful special.
Yeah, the Gold Cup athletes have been in Philadelphia all week. Monday through Thursday, they trained out of St. Joe's Preps Boathouse, Gillen Boathouse up on the Schuylkill River, and they've just been enjoying the sights. Monday night they witnessed a really unique part of American culture, Jordan.
Oh boy.
They went to WWE Monday Night Raw at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yes. Nothing says America like an evening with the athletes of the WWE. All right, looks like we can see. Yep, the girls Hoffman Challenge. The athletes are all getting locked on. Looks like we've still got a few minutes until start time, but they're getting locked on, getting their point.
Yeah, so let's talk about who the athletes are. So in lane 1, it's Egypt Strickland rowing out of the Conshohocken Rowing Center. Lane 2, Beatrix Lay, also from the Conshohocken Rowing Center. Lane 3, Ava Kennedy of the Agnes Irwin School. And in lane 4, Aubrey Lewis, also of the Conshohocken Rowing Center. So these girls are all, for those who are not familiar, they are from the mainline area. We got to speak with some of these athletes beforehand. Egypt is a sophomore at Upper Merion High School. She said she loves rowing, spending time with her family and friends and teammates, and she absolutely loves the color pink. I bet she loved the Barbie movie that was out the other year, Jordan.
Yes, who didn't?
Beatrix is a senior, and she is actually going to be rowing for Radcliffe next year. So, she's very excited. She's in her senior season, wanting to cap off her final fall season here. And she wanted to give a special shout out to her parents, Sarah Foss and Brian Lay, for being her biggest inspiration. She really wanted to make note of that. So I hope her parents are here and feeling proud. Ava Kennedy of Agnes Irwin, she is a senior, and she's actually going to be rowing at Boston University in their lightweight women's program next year. She had a really fun summer. She rowed at the Women's Henley this past summer for the first time, and is also very involved in community service, and of note really likes to work with Cradles to Crayons, which is a local organization. Yep. And then last but certainly not least is Aubrey Lewis. She's a senior at Conestoga High School. She hopes to walk on to a rowing team in college and participate there because she's absolutely loved the experience with her teammates, two of whom are also in this race with her. Aubrey is an avid reader, and she said that she will read anything and everything. Her older sister has been a real inspiration. Her sister rowed at Colgate, and she also wanted to give a shout out to her parents and her dog, Daisy.
Oh, that is great. As we all know, none of these athletes could really start on the path without the support of the parents. So to all of the parents, thank you. And that's really nice that they took the time to highlight that. I also think it's super interesting when you have three athletes representing the same club. One would think that they're pretty familiar with each other's strengths and weaknesses. So it'd be fun to see how that plays out in this race in terms of levels of confidence.
All right, now let's talk about some of our partners with the Gold Cup. Of note, we actually have our official regatta hydration partner for those who are 21 plus, which would be VK Brewing out in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. And they are a wonderful veteran-owned brewery, and we highly encourage anyone to go out and visit. But they are sponsoring and keeping our parents and older athletes hydrated post-race with a phenomenal beer list of their VK Pilsner, the Shipyard Hazy IPA, the Sailor's Delight Amber Ale, and the Crow's Nest American Stout. And Jordan, I think you're going to be sampling some of these beers, and you are starting out with the Crow's Nest. So why don't you give us some tasting notes while we're waiting for these athletes to get locked onto the stake boat and ready to go?
I will. I felt after a coffee, a stout might be the right way to go, sort of staying with the coffee undertone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It is delivering.
Okay.
It's quite delightful, so I'm enjoying it. I think we should also give recognition and thanks to our official sponsors. At the premier level, we have AG and US Rowing. Gold is Woodstock Corp. Silver then is Glenmead and IRM. Bronze is Jake Gutzman and Rob Biggs. Contributing would be Swing Ventures and the Dad Vale Regatta. And then finally, Hudson Concept 2 provided in-kind services, obviously in terms of boats and oars and ergs. So thank you so much to all of you for your support for this event. I couldn't do it without you.
All right, we have about 5 minutes till race time. So it looks like they had those high school girls in the Hoffman Challenge onto the stake boats a little bit early. I'm not sure if they're going to be having them sit there, or if they're going to be trying to get the races off earlier just because the wind is picking up. So we may be trying to move up some of these races just to try to continue to have some favorable conditions throughout the day.
Yeah, it looks like from the live shot here, not from the Goodyear blimp. I assume we've got a drone down there.
We do.
It looks like we've got a bit of a crosswind from what I see, but it doesn't look like they're having any trouble keeping their points, which is helpful. So hopefully we're going to see some fair and fast racing here.
Yeah, and so just a reminder, in lane 1, closest to shore, we have Egypt Strickland of the Conshohocken Rowing Center. In lane 2 is her teammate, Beatrix Lay of the Conshohocken Rowing Center. In lane 3 is Ava Kennedy of the Agnes Irwin School, and in lane 4, Aubrey Lewis of the Conshohocken Rowing Center. Yeah, it looks like this is a little bit at the start, a bit of a cross tail.
Yeah, definitely. And the athletes are, trying to keep their nerves under control. That was always one of the toughest things, I think, was when you're locked on and you have to sit and wait a little bit. You're anticipating the start, you're ready to go, kind of going through your race plan, and then you're just sitting. But as those who've been around the sport long enough know the phrase, hurry up and wait.
Know that at work too, Jordan.
Can't imagine that, Elle. Patience is a virtue, as they say. But yeah, so this is good practice. Hopefully these girls are going to have a lot more races coming their way, and they can draw on this experience and say, hey, you know what, I was able to sit and have a good go here at the Gold Cup, and so this is no different than what I've experienced in the past.
So if you were their coach, Jordan, what would you be telling them, especially of note in the United States and throughout the world? Fall is head racing season, so you're usually doing longer races closer in proximity to 5 kilometers. So, it's longer time on the water, you're doing it at a lower stroke rate. And this is a sprint. This is around, 720 meters. So you're going from this longer steady state type work to a full-blown sprint. What would your advice be to a young athlete who's doing this at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's interesting because it's 750 meters, but there's still plenty of time, and they're off. There they go, and it looks like a fair start, although the athlete on the bottom was not pointed probably where she wanted to be. She's looking like she's going to get back into the lane now, Aubrey. But it looks like Ava Kennedy has taken it out pretty strong.
Yeah, and Beatrix right there next to her, and those are the 2 seniors who will be rowing at Harvard and BU next year.
Representing up in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So far, no settle. That is a good sign. These athletes are feeling pretty strong. They're pretty confident. They've got the base from the head racing season that Elle was talking about, and now they're going to more of their fast twitch muscles, trying to keep the lactic acid at bay as they progress through this.
Yeah, Ava Kennedy looks like she has a bit of a lead right now. We were talking to her coach, Coach Haber, beforehand, and he was really saying that, she competed and did sprint racing through the late summer, and so she really hasn't lost touch with a lot of the sprint work and the technique that's also involved with that, and so that she felt ready and really confident to be handling these conditions today. And she looks like she has a length and actually a bit of open water between her and Egypt and Beatrix of the CRC, but they are definitely starting to make a push back. You can see Egypt in lane 1 starting to walk back a little bit.
Yep, this is some amazing shots from our drone, really giving you a sense of the excitement that's coming out there on the water, and I agree, Elle. It looks like lane 1 there is starting to get a little bit of a push coming. If the drone is stationary, we might get a little bit of better sense, but it looks like Ava has got a really powerful rhythm that she's laying down out there, and is just trusting her fitness, trusting her work, and really leaning into it.
Yeah. And for those who are with us live at the boathouse, you can just really see the athletes starting to come into view here. We just saw actually Olympic silver medalist Emma Twigg run over to catch the end of this finish and also almost trip over the fence, but she is upright, folks. But she is interested in watching these high school girls and how they are bringing it home right now. So Ava Kennedy of Agnes Irwin is out in front. This is her race. It looks like in second place is Egypt Strickland of the CRC, and third place is Beatrix Lay, and Aubrey Lewis is bringing it home in fourth as well.
All right, let's hear it for Ava. Looks like she's going to take the victory here.
Yeah, very controlled. She's got really nice blade work, dealing with this building tailwind. Have a little bit of rough water, so having that clean blade work is really important right now.
Yeah, there's been no letdown from her technique here. This is a really nice showing. She's closing in probably the last 5 strokes here.
Yeah, you wonder if Ava was inspired by the other mighty lady, Michelle Scheffler, and her win at the head of the Charles. Congratulations to Ava.
Well rode, Ava.
And then Egypt Strickland, the sophomore at Upper Merion Conshohocken Rowing Center, is coming in second place. And then it looks like a close race between Beatrix Lay and Aubrey Lewis.
And there you go. And all 4 across the line.
Yep, well rode, ladies.
All right, and so that's just the first race of an exciting noontime showdown here on the Cooper River, the Cooper River Park in Pennsauken, New Jersey. We thank you so much for joining. I was telling Elle, having been here over the many, many moons, the amount of development that's happened here at the Cooper River Park, and now that there's a track just south here, there's a nicer apartments. It's really an impressive location. So if any of you are into fitness, running, longer walks, whatever the case may be, this is a nice area to come and take a little stroll around the river for sure. As you can see, so many folks on the other side of the banks here are taking a look. This is a nice venue for sure. So it looks like we've got probably another 10 minutes or so until the boys' side of the Hoffman Challenge, and in this race, we're gonna have hopefully some more close and fair racing. That should be pretty exciting. And what's nice with this one is that all 4 of the athletes, having progressed through the time trial, but all 4 represent different programs. So there actually isn't any familiarity.
Actually, Jordan, there is lane 2 and 3. So Donovan Moses and George Kapp, they actually rode together this summer in the junior boys double at Worlds, where they came in 15th. So George, during the year, rows for Brunswick School, and during the summer, he rows with V-Skulls. So he knows Van Moses really well. They've obviously been in a double. They've spent a lot of time together, and they are seated in the top 2 positions, so it will be fun to see them compete with each other.
It's always nice when your compatriot has inside knowledge that she doesn't share with you and then shames you publicly. But
actually, there was a note there for you that you didn't read.
I'm blind. But Elle, since you did interview all the athletes and did such a wonderful job with the behind-the-scenes scouting, why don't you tell us a little bit about each of them?
All right. Well, in lane 1, we have Noah Coombs, who's rowing out of White Marsh Boat Club, and he is a senior at Springside Chestnut Hill Academy, so he is local. He wanted us to point out that there was a small typo in his name. We are going to keep it anonymous of who submitted the typo for, coach athlete integrity. But Noah very much enjoys lifting, and he is a big fan of baseball.
Nice.
Donovan Van Moses rows for V Schools, and he is a senior at Greenwich High School, and next year he will be rowing with Cornell up in
Big Red.
Yep, up in New York. In his spare time, when he is not rowing, he really enjoys playing sports with his friends. As noted, he rowed in the junior boys double at Worlds and came in 15th with George Kapp. And he said that right now his hype song is "Count Me Out" by Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not familiar with that jam as it is, but maybe I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we may have to check it out. In lane 3 is Van's boatmate, George Kapp, from this summer, who is a junior at Brunswick Schools. He really enjoys spending time with his family, and he actually, during the year, he sweeps predominantly, and actually this past weekend, he won the Youth 4 at Head of the Charles.
Well done.
Yeah. And last but not least, in lane 4 is Tony Madigan. And before we get into a little bit about him, I believe you know his dad, right?
I do. Matt Madigan, his dad and coach, was somebody with whom I spent some time on the national team here. Matt is one of the true gentlemen of the sport, as well as a handsome devil, and his age keeps with him. He's wearing it well.
Yeah, well, Tony, his son, is rowing out of lane 4 for Potomac Boat Club. He is a junior at Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia. He plays basketball as well, and he really enjoys science in school. And as you mentioned, his dad is his coach, and he wanted to point out that it's very similar to Ollie Zeidler being coached by his dad as well. So hopefully we'll see some luck from that today. But it looks like the boys are starting to come up and get ready and are starting to, maybe do their last few pieces at pressure and rate before they start to get into the stake boats.
Okay. All right. Apologies for the brief feedback. It is a little breezy down here. All right. But yeah, as Al was saying, it looks like the boys are up in the start zone, tooling around a little bit, getting ready to get locked on. You can see it's a little bit breezy, a little wavy, but I think it's good. I think Al's gonna go out into the wild and do some interviews with the girls who just finished their racing. So this will be fun. Al, if you could hang on 1 second, looks like we're getting a camera, and then we gotta try to get that mic working.
Is this one going to be out? After. Okay.
Hi, how
Congratulations.
are you? Thank you so much.
How did you think the race went?
It obviously could have been better. I think the wind was very bad in the beginning especially, but I got my point in and I just hulked it out. I had to go as fast as possible. I couldn't stop. So yeah, I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
All right, so there are a few more races today, and we have the Gold Cup races for the men and women. Who do you think are going to win those? Who do you want to win?
Ollie Zeidler.
Ollie Zeidler?
Ollie Zeidler, oh yes.
Yeah, what do you like about Ollie Zeidler?
He's the best.
He's the best?
He's the best. You watch him at Henley, he was moving. He just keeps going. He never stops. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really overwhelmed right now.
Nope, I get it. So why don't you take a breath? I see your mom's here too. She's probably going to be helping get your boat out. So we will let Coach Mom help out. But congratulations and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, you as well.
All right, and looks like from the live shot from our drone here, we've got the boys negotiating some of the conditions, looking to get locked on up there. We're pretty excited to have another great race coming down the track here in about 4 minutes. There we go, a little practice start. Elle, you're back. Well done. You navigated the dock with considerable skill. No surprise there. I couldn't hear who was her pick for the Gold Cup races.
So Egypt and I only got to discuss the men, but she is a huge Ollie Zeidler fan. She was
Okay.
really impressed by how he dominated the Diamond Sculls at Henley this summer.
There you go. An impressive season for sure for Ollie. We'll see if the WWE SmackDown event, though, perhaps gave some inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very interesting event. I think all the athletes had varying degrees of surprise and delight while watching that, and
Yes.
learning about other WWE superfans, and just some of the wrestling terminology is very unique. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It is a wonderful piece of Americana, if you will.
Yes. All right, well, it looks like while we're waiting for the Hoffman Challenge boys to get locked and loaded, we do see actually some of the Lotman Challenge men preparing to go out right now. It looks like we can see Jacob Plehall on the dock getting ready to shove off and get in his warm-up.
Yep. It's really important to get the muscles primed, ready to go. Because these are shorter races, as Elle was pointing out, in the fall typically it's head racing season, which is a 3-mile race. The Olympic distance, 2,000 meters, although I guess in
LA.
in LA it's going to be 1,500. So this is good practice for that. But this obviously at 750 meters is considerably shorter than any of the standard distances. So you really need to make sure muscles are ready to go from stroke one.
Yeah, so it looks like they're all backing in. It looks like they all got in relatively successfully, which, backing in with a pretty significant tailwind is not always the easiest feat. So, I think these boys have been very focused. They're very comfortable in their singles, and they are getting lined up. So just to remind people, in lane 1, we have Noah Coombs of White Marsh Boat Club. In lane 2, we have Van Moses of V-Skulls. In lane 3, we have George Kapp of the Brunswick Schools. And in lane 4, we have Tony Madigan of Potomac Boat Club.
Definitely want to recognize our volunteers who are on the stake boats, actually holding the boats in place. Hopefully they've got a little bit of sunscreen because it is pretty slutty out there. But at the same time, I'm sure they're getting a little bit wet. Definitely a little bit breezy. But so it's wonderful that they're out there helping us to get this event going. Looks like the athletes are locked in, ready to go, and we've got a start, Elle, and they're off.
Looks like a clean start, Jordan.
Yes, indeed. There's not much in it, as the friends across the pond like to say. Really even start here. Looks like we've got
Van in lane 2 looks like he might be out just a hair right now, but it is still very, very early on there in their start sequence. So they have, picked the boats up to speed and are just, flying at that rate right now and really taking advantage of this tailwind.
absolutely, and it looks like all the athletes have a good course as well. Square in their lanes. It looks to me like Tony Madigan is making a bit of a press here. So this is going to be so far in the early goings, we've got a really, really even race.
Yep, and it looks like Van Moses has definitely got his nose out, but as you said, Tony Madigan from out in lane 4 in Potomac is starting to hunt him down, and so we're going to see how this goes because they're probably just about hitting maybe the halfway point, and we're just being able to see them start to come into view. You could see Tony in lane 4 in that red Potomac unisuit and the red blades.
Yeah. Oh, look at this great shot from our drone here.
Yeah.
There we go. All the athletes are staying in lane now, and looks like we've got a really nice race here between Tony and Van. There is not much in it.
Yeah, this is really close. They look like they are bow to bow ball right now, trying to duke it out in these final strokes.
And you can really see Tony honking on it there. He's giving it all he's got, looking across. They know how close this race is. So as they come in, let's hear it for them. Let's give them some support. Urge these athletes on because this is going to be a really close finish here as they come in.
Yeah, they're just trading blows right now. So this is going to be who could keep the power and keeping that length through that stroke in this tailwind. Really keeping the boat grounded.
Yeah.
Finding that water underneath them and really squeezing on it.
Almost stroke for stroke at this point. They got to be locking up a little bit on the lactic acid side. They're just hanging on.
Yep.
Look at Tony looking over. Does he have one last little burst? Because I think Van still has the edge.
Yep. Yep, and you see Ollie Zeidler just walked over to check out this finish right now. He's very interested and invested in this race. He wants to see how these boys are doing right now.
This is a great finish coming
Oh,
up
boy.
here. This is too close to call.
I was going to
Al.
say,
Here they
Jordan, I am
come.
not calling this. This is dead even.
Photo finish.
Someone's
Here we
gotta
come,
put a
ladies and
squeeze on it.
gentlemen. Oh, who's going to get it?
Oh, that is a
what
photo finish, folks.
I can't call it, but wow, that was great racing. Great racing, boys. Great racing.
Yeah, excellent. Well done, Van and Tony. We will let you know as soon as we check out that photo finish.
Oh, there the official timing. Looks like Van is our winner by 0.3 of a second.
All right,
Wow.
so first place, Van Moses of V Schools, followed by a hair, Tony Madigan of Potomac Boat Club. Third, George Kapp of Brunswick. And fourth, Noah Coombs of White Marsh. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. That was a great show you put on for us. Really good. That's the level of competition that we're really excited to see here at the Gold Cup, the high standard.
Tell him I'm going to walk out of here.
Looks like Elle is going to go down to the dock again to do some on-the-scene interviews. Off she goes. But it'll be fun to track these athletes as they move through the collegiate system and then hopefully continue to participate on the national team level and see if they can continue to have success. It's one of the wonderful things about this sport is if you're willing to put in the time, typically you can get out of it what you put in. And it looks like Elle's going to have some conversation with Ollie.
What did you think of the high school race?
It was interesting to watch.
How are you feeling about the tailwind today?
Well, I think I will not die as much as last year because of that, so let's see.
All right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
We can wait for high school boys to come in here.
Do you want me to?
And that was Elle chatting with Ollie Zeidler. He's putting in a little bit early, get comfortable with the conditions out there, see if he can continue this magical season that he's been putting together. Just want to take a second to recognize our sponsors once again. Our premier sponsor is AG. Our gold medal sponsors, U.S. Rowing and Woodstock Corp. Our silver medal sponsors, Glen Mead and IRM. Bronze is Jake Gutzman and Rob Biggs. Then contributing, Swing Ventures, Dad Vale. And finally, supporting, because of the equipment they so kindly have provided here, would be Hudson Boat Works and Concept 2. So thanks again to all of our sponsors helping this event to come off as well as it has. So I think if I check the watch, we've got about 10 minutes until the next race, which is the women's final of the Lotman Challenge. That is the U.S. scullers out there giving it their all. So I would say, as you wait, enjoy the sounds of our DJ. Please enjoy the adult refreshments. I believe it's noon somewhere. It's not quite noon here, but we aren't going to judge. And so just enjoy this wonderful day. Enjoy the ambiance here. Elle's going to have some interviews just as soon as these athletes come back into the dock. So Elle is giving another interview here on the dock, so let's see what she's got.
Really nice conditions. It's fair, be fast, and I think all these guys are having a great time. So I'm really happy to be here to watch all this.
Yeah. What did you think about that youth event right there with that really close finish between East Skulls and Potomac?
That was very tight. It was very tight. I'm a big fan of Madigan. I've watched him go, and it's great to see him being close and having more to work on.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Frank. We're going to go have a quick chat with Van Moses really quick and get his post-race thoughts.
Let's get it.
And what did you think of the race today and the conditions? Walk us through it.
A little scared at the start, seeing the crosswind. It's really heavy. Race was really fun though. Really close between me and Tony. Love racing against him. It's great. Great guy.
All right. And you're going to Cornell next year. How excited are you to have this win?
Really excited about Cornell. It's great all around.
All right, so I'm not sure. Well, you wouldn't have seen, but Ollie Zeidler came down and was very interested in those final 10 strokes. But what advice do you have for the cut out?
I guess make sure that your point is strict and you stay like on point the entire time because it's very easy to drift in that wind.
Any predictions on who's going to win the Gold Cup for the men and women?
I don't know what predictions. I mean, I'll win again. Win. So.
What about the women?
I'm forgetting her name. The Dutch. Yeah, that would be.
All right, Caroline Flores and all. Great job. I'm trying to get Tony. Is this still on?
It's muted right now.
All right, we are here with second place finish Tony Madigan. What did you think of the race?
That was incredible. I mean, Van's an incredible kid, incredible athlete. So to be up there with him, who won it last year and set a record last year, it's just incredible because this is like my first time racing it. We're training for head races all season, and to come here, just have fun with the 750, it's just a great experience.
How was the start? Van was saying that it was a little scary up at the start because of the cross.
Yeah, it was definitely scary. In my opinion, the starters held it for a little long, which isn't like a bad thing, but it's just you get drifted and then you have to fix it and then you're bouncing between lane lines. At least for me, that's what happened. So, I mean, that's not an excuse. Van's an incredible athlete and he won that.
Yeah, well, you definitely caught the interest of a lot of the Gold Cup athletes. Ollie Zeidler came down and was watching the last strokes when he saw how close it was. But speaking of the Gold Cup races, who do you think is going to win the men's and women's races?
I'm rooting for Kara Kohler for the women, and I hope one of the Dutchmen can get it in the men. So.
All right, well, congratulations and thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, Elle, thank you for the on-the-scene interviews there down on the dock. How you can walk down that ramp in those boots without taking a spill is beyond me, but well done. Really great to hear from them. This is truly a splendid day. You can see this drone shot looking back, the clouds. I don't think you could dial up a more picture-perfect afternoon than what we've got here, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're getting ready in about 5 minutes. You can see they're starting to back in here for the Lotman Challenge for the women. And this is going to be a really exciting race here as we get everybody going. We've got Cecily Madden from Cambridge Boat Club, Margaret Fellows, a fellow Cambridge Boat Club member, Kara Kohler from the CRC, that's the California Rowing Club, and then Emily Delterman from Craftsbury. So this is going to be pretty exciting.
All right, so you heard it from some of those Hoffman athletes that they are giving advice on the start, and it does look like a little bit more of a gnarly crosswind at the start, Jordan, but These are the Lotman women, so they are going for cash prizes of $8,000 for first place, $6,000 for second, $4,000 for third, and $2,000 for fourth. And so looking at it, we have lane 1, Cicely Madden of Cambridge. Lane 2, Maggie Fellows, also of Cambridge. Lane 3, Kara of the California Rowing Club. And lane 4, Emily Delman of Craftsbury.
Yeah, I think that it's a really important thing to note here is that now there's cash on the line here for these athletes. Definitely, not that winning without a monetary prize isn't motivation, but for sure, when you can add something to your bank account, there's going to be a little extra motivation here. So that's going to be it's going to be interesting to watch. And this wind is definitely building. You can see it here. From even where we are, when you look down on the dock, you can see we got a pretty good tailwind coming. So these should be some fast times, but along with fast times are technical challenges. You really need to be clean in terms of entry and exit with your blade work, which really could potentially be a difference maker in this race. If there's as we say in the trade, if there's a digger, that could be real problematic in terms of slowing the boat down. And perhaps the differences we saw in that last race, when the difference between winning and losing is quite tight, it's not going to take much.
All right, Jordan. So, one thing of interest is, Kara Kohler, she was the U.S. athlete in the singles. She came in 5th in Paris this summer, but she is actually doubling up today. So she's racing in the U.S. Women's Lotman Challenge for U.S. elite scullers, and then she's coming back and is racing in the Gold Cup. So she has the chance to really double up on prize money. But what's also been so super exciting to see this fall is that, she's we've been joking around, she's been a little bit on a cash roadshow with races. So she did a few weeks before the Charles, I think it's the Tuxedo Regatta, where there was actually prize money awarded for the winning men's and women's racers. And then head of the Charles and the Champ Single has finally started to award prize purses. So it's really excited to see this momentum and making, having these top athletes come and race each other and having them be able to win cash, be rewarded for their races.
I think that's a wonderful point, Al. For those who don't recall, rowing used to be, it looks like we're going to watch the athletes locked on. I think we're going to get a start here momentarily. And they're off. Looks like a clean start. I think all the athletes had a good point. And yeah, right out of the gates here. It looks like Kara's looking to make her impression felt.
Yeah, Kara was second in the time trial this morning. Maggie Fellows of the Cambridge Boat Club won it decisively, but Kara's also being mindful that she's technically making 3 runs down the course this morning, having not done a lot of speed work until this week. So she's being mindful, but you can see she's got her nose out there. It looks like she's, at least from this angle, maybe has like a deck or a half length even on Maggie Fellows, and a little bit further on that on Cicely Madden, lane 1.
Yeah, agreed. You have to be, as Elle said, it's a tricky proposition when you're making this many runs down the course. You don't want to expend any energy that you don't need to, but at the same time you need to make sure that you make it through the time trial. So a little trickier than you would think. But right now, Kara looks to be about half a length ahead, I think.
Yep, she's keeping that white Hudson deck up comfortably over the 2 yellow Empakers that Maggie and Cicely are rowing. They both row out of the Cambridge Boat Club in Boston, Massachusetts.
There's some great drone shots. I mean, depending.
Yeah.
This might be a little tighter.
We might have another photo finish.
Oh, there's some geese. There we go. Okay. Thankfully, that does not appear to have impacted the race at all. But you can see the boathouse there in the background. They're starting to come into view.
Yep, and Maggie Fellows is starting to walk back a little bit on Kara right now. Kara's got a little bit of an advantage, so right now she knows that she's got to keep just pushing Maggie off, but Maggie looked really sharp coming in at the end of that time trial this morning, Jordan. So I would not count her out, but Kara definitely has the advantage right now. She's up, she's getting to push off. She's from a position of confidence right now, so she's just got to keep on going there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep the momentum going. You can really see the crosswind pushing these athletes along. Kara looks to have a powerful stroke going still. Maggie's winding it up. This is going to be a good finish.
Yeah, I think, unless Maggie really pops it up, I think Kara's going to be able to just squeeze it and hold her off here. So great racing with Kara just holding off Maggie Fellows in a tightly contested women's race. So
There you
Kara
go.
first, Maggie second, Cicely Madden of Cambridge third, and then Emily Delman of Craftsbury is in fourth.
There we go. Nice, another great race. Fair race. Looks good. Really fun to see. Glad that those geese didn't cause any issues other than just looking dramatic on screen here for us. But that's a great race. Let's hear it for Kara Kohler, and she's going to stay out on the course, I would assume, to do a little bit of a cool down, try to work some of that lactic acid out as she then gets ready for the Gold Cup final.
Yeah.
Elle, are you going to venture down onto the dock again?
I may. It depends what they look like they're doing with their cool down, if they're going to continue going or if they're going to make a turn in.
All right. Can you remind us again what the athletes received as a result of that from the cash prize standpoint?
All right, so Kara right now has $8,000 and will be adding to that depending on her finish in the Women's Gold Cup final. So Kara has $8,000. Maggie will be receiving $6,000. Cecily will be having a nice $4,000 check, and Emily will be bringing $2,000 back to Craftsbury.
That, as they say, is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Very exciting. I think that's great stuff. And now we're getting ready. We got about 10 minutes for the men's Lotman challenge.
Yeah, and let's talk about these men. So in lane one, we have Jacob Pleahall from the Craftsbury Green Racing Project. And for those of you who don't know, Jacob rode the men's single for the United States in Paris, and he said himself it was unlucky/lucky number 13. He had a brutal heat, and so it had some of like the fastest podium contenders. So he wound up in that C final where he absolutely destroyed everyone and really sent a message that he is here. It will be so exciting to see him at Worlds this coming summer. He's actually, for those of you who are U.S. Rowing super fans, he is going to be signing autographs at the head of the Schuylkill tomorrow at the U.S. Rowing tent, so be sure to come on by. And he's also staying with Cedar Cunningham, who those two are going to be going neck and neck in this race. So you have a friendly rivalry staying together. And Jacob was very proud to announce that he is sporting some vintage Oakley high jackets today, so he is in it to win it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Cedar Cunningham, who is his housemate this weekend, is Philly-based. He is training out of the Pennsylvania Athletic Club. And Cedar is really excited to be, continuing a piece of Boathouse Row history tonight for the 21 and up crowd, hosting the Pacra Halloween party on Boathouse Row. A lot of people have had very good memories there, or foggy memories, depending how much fun you have. But there is a small cover that Cedar wanted to point out that helps fund the high performance team. But we know some of the Gold Cup athletes will also be going there tonight to celebrate the great day of racing. And Cedar actually went to Washington State University, but he's only been rowing for 4 years. He's actually a former football player. And given that he is a West Coast boy, we will try not to hold it against him that he is a Seattle Seahawks fan.
Ooh.
I know.
That's a tough spot.
That is. And next up, we have Elliot, who goes by Finn Putnam. And Finn actually had a great week. He just found out the other day that he passed the bar exam. So he, this spring, graduated from BC Law.
Wow.
He rowed undergrad at Cornell, but he is a corporate lawyer, and he is training out of the New York Athletic Club. And then bringing us home is Andy LaRue, who is with the Boston Rowing Federation. And Andy rowed undergrad for Princeton and currently works with Regatta Central, and he is an avid golfer and a chess fan. So I am going to head down, hopefully, and catch some of the women for a post-race interview.
All right, be safe on the dock. Slazell so helpfully gave us a little bit of background. You can see that these athletes all have varied interests outside of rowing. Rowing is not our primary work, so really interesting to see how they balance their training as well as basically making a living and surviving. So I think that's great. That's really great color.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think the race went.
I think it went really well. Kept it clean, kept it aggressive. That's all I can ask for. Yeah, it's such a tough competition out there. It's really fun racing the fast girls.
Yeah, I bet. And so you've been sculling for a really long time, and we were talking a little bit about just the increase in prize money at some of these races, you know, the Tuxedo Regatta and then Head of the Charles and now the Lotman. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot when you work so hard. It's nice to have something at the end of the race to work for. We put in so much work behind the scenes, so to be honored that way, it means a lot. Yeah.
All right, so we know after these Lotman events, we do have the Gold Cup races for the men and women. If you were a betting woman, who would you be picking for the men and women?
I mean, a German and a yellow pretty speedy this year, so I have to say that. And then we have a very fast woman launching now, so my eyes are on her as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So your money's on all these guys Caroline Warren.
Yes.
All right. We
Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah. We will stay tuned. Thanks so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, another great drone shot looking back at the boathouse. You can. All right, Elle is continuing to look for interview subjects down there on the dock, and I'm sure she's going to find somebody, but you can see our Gold Cup athletes are starting to launch, which is going to be very, very exciting. Just as a reminder, these are the Olympic champions. They don't get any better than what we're going to see here shortly, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a very unique event, which is a lot of fun to participate in every year. But it looks like for now we got about 5 minutes till the start of the men's Lotman Challenge. Again, this is the U.S. Single scullers. So this is going to be good. We'll get the drone shot. We'll see where they are up in the starting area, whether or not they continue to warm up or actually lock in. Looks like everybody's kind of getting locked in a little bit here. The breeze continues. As they say, it's freshening. If you look towards the start line, the big American flag across the way is waving. It takes a bit of breeze to get that happening, so I think that gives you a sense of just how much breeze is happening up there. But it continues to be a little bit of a cross tail. It's going to lend itself to some faster times. As I'm looking, I see some geese on the course. I'm hopeful that they'll move out of the way and won't actually impede the racing in any way. But the Cooper River is known for having a little bit of goose interference here or there. It's part of nature, it's part of our sport, that you deal with the elements, and that includes the critters. And in this case, it is the geese. I think while we've got a break in the action, we'll just quickly say thank you to our sponsors. We'll probably do it again, but for the moment, we'll thank them again. Premier sponsor is AG, gold level sponsor, U.S. Rowing and Woodstock Corp, silver, Glenn Mead and IRM, bronze, Jake Gutzman and Rob Biggs. Our contributing sponsors, Swing Ventures and Dad Vale. And then finally, our supporters, Hudson and Concept 2, providing some wonderful equipment for everybody to use here. You will see during the Gold Cup that all the athletes are going to be rowing in Hudson shells. So there's no advantage from an equipment standpoint, and I believe they're using Concept 2 oars.
Yeah, so all the athletes are in custom, brand new hulls made specifically for them. Ollie got a super custom based on his size. He's the classic Jaws. You're going to need a bigger boat. So Ollie hopefully is locked and loaded and feeling comfortable in that. And Concept 2 also provided them with brand new custom blades as well.
Really amazing. Just great support for this event.
Yeah, so Hudson's support's been phenomenal. They've been down here all week helping rig, helping each of the athletes get dialed in, feel really comfortable in the boats. So they've just been such phenomenal partners to make this easy for the athletes and everything.
Yeah, there is, and when you have slightly challenging conditions like this, trust in your equipment is paramount, and these partners have certainly gone the extra mile to make sure that that's the case.
Yep. All right, it looks like these men are getting in. It looks like Jacob Plehall is the last one who is backing into his stake boat right now. But as a reminder for the men's United States Lotman Challenge, in lane 1, we have Jacob Plehall from the Craftsbury Green Racing Project. In lane 2, we have Cedar Cunningham from Pennsylvania Athletic Club. In lane 3, we have Elliot Putnam from the New York Athletic Club. And in lane 4, we have Andrew LaRue of the Boston Rowing Federation.
And it looks like they're all locked in here now, Elle.
Yep, they're working with the stake boat holders. When you have a big cross tailwind like this at the start, you could see Andy LaRue is struggling a little bit with getting his point right now, but it is a bit of a stressful period because you're trying to get your point. You also have a stake boat holder holding on to the stern of your boat, which is not easy to do either, as they're trying to use their blades to tap and get the point. So they're trying to stay calm and stay focused, but it is also high stress, and these refs are hopefully getting these guys in and trying to get them off the line as quick as possible.
Yeah, that's a great point. These referees have been doing a really good job. You're not only working on a timetable, but also making sure that it's fair and not too much of a extra stress. So this is something pretty exciting. You can see that right now the bows could do a little better pointing straight downstream. I'm guessing we're going to get a start here momentarily. Yep. There we go.
As soon as Andrew in lane 4 got relatively straight, they were off.
Yeah.
And he actually got off really clean considering
he
that.
Sure did.
He adjusted and went. That is agility in motion.
Right. Go ahead, Elle, sorry.
I was gonna say right now, so it looks like we have Jacob Plehall. He is out to an early lead right now, but Cedar Cunningham from Tennessee is second, followed by Elliot Putnam and Andy LaRue right now.
Yeah, it looks like we got the two outside lanes really popping off there pretty well. So let's see. Let's see who can settle in, if you do settle in a little bit here in a 750-meter sprint. But yeah, right now Jacob is putting down a marker.
Yeah, I mean, he had such a phenomenal summer, and even though it was definitely a little bit heartbreaking to see him wind up in that C final in Paris, as I said, he kept his head on, he kept the right mindset, and he showed everyone that he belongs to be here. And I think we are so excited next year to possibly see him in the A final at Worlds and have a U.S. male sculler in contention for the Gold Cup again. I think he is really setting the tone. Him and Steve Welpley are doing great working together up at Craftsbury.
Yeah, that would be really exciting, and obviously that is the goal of this event, to continue supporting these athletes, giving them little interim milestones in between the training.
It looks like Cedar Cunningham from Tennessee, he is starting to walk back. Actually, it looks like he is starting to dial it up as they're coming up on that halfway mark and coming into the view of the boathouse. This is a screaming tailwind, so we are going to see them pop that rate up and really try to bring it home here. But right now, it's like Jacob has the slightest advantage over Cedar, but those two are out clear right now.
They sure are. Cedar's trying to get that red boat going.
Yeah.
But it looks to me like Jacob is...
He's got about a half length, yeah.
He's got a half length. He was able to counter that move. And as they come in here to the finish, they're looking clean. They're looking pretty strong. think.
It looks close from this
Yeah.
angle, actually, on shore. It is close. Jacob's got to squeeze him off, but he's got, less than a deck right now. But Cedar's closing hard, but Jacob is definitely going to take this win.
There he is.
All right, so first place. That guy looks happy. You just saw him
There you
slam
go.
his fist into the water. First place, Jacob Plehall of the Craftsbury Green Racing Project. Second place, Cedar Cunningham of Penn AC. Congratulations. Third place, Elliot Finn Putnam of the New York Athletic Club. And fourth, Andy LaRue of the Boston Rowing Federation. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Well rowed, gentlemen, and that was a close finish. I think that's one of the closest finishes we've had in terms of all 4 athletes for the Lotman Challenge. It was good depth across the board there, which
Yeah.
is exciting to see.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see the rise of U.S. sculling on the men's and the women's side, and got to be hopeful that U.S. rowing keeps that momentum going, Jordan.
Yes, for sure. U.S. Rowing, the parent organization at the national team and Olympic level, always looking to refine our system to try to think about how to get more athletes not only qualified for the Olympic regatta, but in the A finals and hopefully on the podium. And so that's part of the goal of this Gold Cup regatta as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up is going to be the Gold Cup men's race. And for those who have been watching, you may have noticed that the pattern of the races has been female then male. But the Gold Cup is starting with male, then female, and that's to allow Kara Kohler, who just won the U.S. Women's Lotman Challenge, a little bit of a chance to cool down, get her heart rate down, stretch out before starting up again. And it looks like we just saw Olympic silver medalist Emma Twigg of New Zealand launch, and she's starting on her warm-up right now. But right now, we're just going to be waiting a little bit and then have the Gold Cup men's race. So I'm going to head down and see if I can chat with some of the Lotman fellows post-race.
That's awesome, and I'd like you to find out what the Halloween costume of choice will be.
That's a great question. Journalism at its finest.
That's why I'm here. All right, so Elle is going to make her way down to the dock, and she's going to have some probing questions for sure. What were they thinking about at the 600-meter mark? These are the things that inquiring minds want to know, and Elle's going to find out for us. You can actually see Kara Kohler is still on the dock. She actually had to swap her bow number as well, so that way we know which lane she should be in. So she'll be launching soon to get out there to compete in the Women's Gold Cup final, which will be coming up after the men. And that will be really exciting.
Sorry. just smudge it on your face. All right, I'm here with Kara Kohler, who's eating at the same time, so I'm going to try to talk and give her time to chew. But Kara just won the U.S. Women's Lotman final. She has been rowing for a few years now. She got her first Olympic medal when she was a junior in college, 21-ish?
Yeah, 21 years old.
21 years old in the women's quad in London. She raced for the U.S. as the women's single in Paris this summer and came in 5th place. But we are catching you loading on some quick World Cup final. But walk us through how that Lotman Challenge race went.
Quick conditions. So it's really about skill in these kind of conditions. I mean, you can wail on it, but if you're thrashing around, that's not going to be so beneficial. So it's a balance of being as aggressive as possible for such a short distance. 750 meters, very unique to us, 2K rowers. And then also making sure I'm staying fluid and clearing the waves. So,
how are you feeling as this wind continues to increase heading into the Gold Cup final?
Just gonna take maybe a little 10 and then head up to the start. Yep, all warmed up, ready to go.
I was gonna say, your third time down the course. All right, so I'm not gonna ask about the women's race, but you've also gotten to spend time all week with the Gold Cup men, and you've seen them training because you've all had your sessions together this week. Who do you think is gonna win the Gold Cup men's race?
Oh man.
They can't hear you.
I feel like Melvin. I see him off the line and he just blasts off. So I think he's going to be the defending champion. Is going to be hard to beat. But plenty of strong contenders in Simon and Ollie and who's our fourth? Brain power.
Simon, Ollie,
Oh
Melvin,
my God.
Tim.
And Tim. Yeah, the lightweight. Never underestimate a former lightweight.
In a tailwind.
Yeah, in a tailwind.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And
My boat.
shit.
Thank you. I need that.
Kara's boat was blowing away. All right, Elle, thank you so much. You can see from the breeze down there, Kara's boat is actually continuing to blow a little bit. So that's that. Okay. All right, there's a great drone shot showing some of the conditions out there as we get ready for the men's final of the Gold Cup. So just to go through this again, we've got Simon van Dorp, who is the Olympic bronze medalist from the Netherlands. We have Melvin Toilaar, who was a silver medalist from the Netherlands in the men's double. Melvin is our two-time repeat winner, I believe. He's quite a sprinter, so he hasn't rode the single at the World Championship or Olympic level. He's been in the double, but clearly this is an event he enjoys. As Elle mentioned, Ali Zeidler, who is the reigning Olympic champion from Germany, and finally Tim Breeze, who actually was fourth in Paris from Belgium. In lane 4. So this is the best of the best. So let's take a look here. This is a great crowd. The venue here, as Al and I mentioned earlier, Cooper River Park continues to invest. Really beautiful day, beautiful setting. As you can see, I know all of you are enjoying it. For those watching online, for the, what's less than 10s, Al? For the 2s of you, that's very Philly, I'm sorry. But it's just gorgeous. So if you ever have the opportunity to come here in person, it really is a magnificent event. It's gotten better every year. There's more support. I think the word continues to spread. It's tremendous fun to be here, and obviously fantastic racing and seeing the best in the world here in the backyard of the Philadelphia area is really, really a unique opportunity, and we're very appreciative that continues to happen and continues to grow and spread, and that's our goal.
Yeah.
Elle, you're back.
I am. So we've got about 6 minutes till the Gold Cup men's. And so in lane 1, we have Simon van Dorp of the Netherlands, who came in 3rd this summer at Paris. Of note, he's a little bit of an American favorite because he did row for the University of Washington as an undergrad. And so, he's got a little bit of a following on the U.S. side as well. Got to give the Huskies some love where it's due. They're one of the most dominant men's programs in U.S. collegiate rowing.
Well, he also, this weekend, he switched back to the sweep side of things, rowing one oar, and he competed and won at the head of the Charles in the Alumni 8. Which is
record.
Yes, which is a hotly contested event these days. So that is no small feat for sure.
Yes, and in lane 2 is his compatriot Melvin Toilaar of the Netherlands, who is the back-to-back defending Gold Cup champion. And you may be wondering, how do we have 2 Dutch athletes here? Well, when Melvin first won it 3 years ago, he was actually in the singles, and because he's continued to win it, even though he's been racing in the double, he gets the automatic invite back, and clearly he deserves to be with this group given he is going for the three-peat. But Melvin is also a silver medalist. He got silver in both Tokyo and Paris in the men's double sculls, and we have been watching him this week, and Jordan, I think I sent you some videos of him doing starts, and his technique is just the best out of this entire group. He just gets off of that start so clean, so light, so fast. He is going to make this a tough race for anyone to come after him, and he wants that three-peat.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and in lane 3, we have one of the crowd favorites. It is Oliver Zeidler from Germany, the Olympic champion. Ollie is coming into this, and of note, he, due to his performances winning the Diamond Sculls at the Henley Royal Regatta and being the Olympic champion, if he could pull off the triple and win the Gold Cup, he gets an automatic $50,000 payday. We're really excited to see this. He is focused. He is dialed in. I think this is going to be exciting racing. No one is going to make this easy for him, but Ollie is in a great space, and he's talked a lot about that. In Tokyo, he will admit he underperformed, and in his semi, he did not race well, and he wound up in the B final in Tokyo, and just how mentally difficult that was for him, but how he was committed to working and learning from it, and he's made changes. He's been adaptable. He's been the defending world championship in the years leading up to Paris. And then right before Paris, it was the race of the ages at Lucerne when him and Simone went at it, and Simone just went through him. And again, Ollie had to have this reckoning with himself, but he did. And then you could just see in Paris, he was focused through the heats, and then he threw down in that semi. You knew that was a mental barrier for him. He crushed that semifinal, and then you could just tell he was in the right headspace, coming from a place of confidence to win that gold. And so we really are seeing kind of him in that really good mindset coming into this race. And then in lane 4 is Tim Breeze of Belgium, who came in 4th place in Paris. And what's really great about Tim is that he's a former lightweight sculler. So, when you see him next to these guys, even though he's allowed to be, at open weight, he is still a little bit leaner with these guys. But, headwinds or tailwinds favor a lightweight. And, he's going to be really technically clean as well. And so I would not count him out with these conditions.
I think that's a great point, Al. I imagine we're going to get a start here pretty quickly. But when you have a tailwind like this, it diminishes the advantage that the larger, stronger athletes might have when times are a little bit slower. It compresses the race, and therefore you have a much tighter, or the opportunity for a closer finish time where a bigger, stronger athlete might wear somebody down. It doesn't tend to wear down this way. So this could be a dynamic race.
Yeah, this will definitely be exciting. Seeing Melvin in practice especially, he was probably doing the most starts and strokes at rate, and he was getting off the line, Jordan, in like the low to mid 50s.
And there they go, and there goes Melvin.
The rocket has left the stake boats. Melvin is out. He was practicing. He was ready for this week, and he is out clean right now. Ollie had a little bit of a slower start. He is in 3rd, but Simon's been piecing next to Melvin. And Simone starts to walk back in that second half when he can just grind on that and use some of that husky dog power to power through. So this is going to be an exciting race to watch.
For sure. You've got some huge engines there with Ollie and Simone. And there's a beautiful shot from the drone, and you can see Melvin just ticking it along. Really.
So clean.
Yeah.
Just look at those blades. He's trusting that they're finding the water, and he's just catching it and moving it. So smooth. And
you can see Tim there in the background, though. This is going to be a really, really interesting finish. See if Ollie and the rest of the group can start to come back on Melvin. But right now, Melvin
and Simone
continues to just pick it up and push that boat along.
Yeah, and Melvin and Simone, they've been training together. They've been doing their paddles. They've been doing pieces together. So this just feels like another day working with their friends, working with their teammates. Really clean. Let's see if Simone can start to come back. But as I said, Melvin wants the three-peat. He is sending a message right now.
I think he's stretched it out a little bit.
All right, and these boats are just starting to come into view. You're seeing them start to ratchet it up a little bit. Nice and clean.
Yep, let's let them hear it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great race. Look at all these boats with overlap.
Yeah.
Very, very close race.
It's like Melvin just popped it up a little bit. He's connected with Simone. Those two are the closest right now.
Yeah.
Melvin is holding his teammate off, but Simone is starting to walk right now.
He is
pushing through.
Flying on the outside.
He is giving it a run for his money. Let's see what happens as we start to approach these final strokes. It is Dutch versus Dutch right now.
Oh, yeah. Now Tim is the one closing there. No, sorry.
Yep, it looks like.
Oh, and- oh,
Simone-
boy.
oh boy, we got a close one. Oh! And look at those two. Melvin looking across the line. This is another day of practice. So first place, congratulations, Melvin Twellar of the Netherlands.
Melvin hung on.
Second place by a hair, epic surge, Simone van Dorp of the Netherlands.
Wow. Wow, what a great race. What a great race. Let's see if they show us the time.
Third place, Tim Breeze of Belgium. He was starting on that outside lane to make a walk back. And in fourth place, Oliver Zeidler of Germany. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Wow.
Melvin Twellar is your three-peat back-to-back-to-back defending Gold Cup champion with that $16,000 payday.
Al, have we ever had a 3P champion here?
Yes, Emma Twiggs on the water right now.
Ah, there you go. He's very good company there, obviously. What a fantastic race. I hope everybody enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, that was exciting. And, you know, this women's race coming up is also going to be epic as well. You know, with Victoria Senkute of Lithuania, she was our bronze medalist in Paris. She actually rode for the University of Central Florida undergrad as well. She is here. Emma Twigg, 3-time defending champion of New Zealand, 5-time Olympian, silver medalist most recently in Paris. And she is next to Caroline Florine, the Olympic gold medalist. She has been just on fire. It's been so exciting to watch her. And in fourth, Kara Kohler. But I'm going to run down and talk to these athletes.
All right, Al. All right, Elle's making her way down to the dock, looking for some interesting commentary from these athletes. That was a fantastic race. I'll just let Melvin know that he won. He didn't realize that he'd hung on for the victory. She's going to have a dockside interview with our winner, Melvin Twellar, 3-time champion here, momentarily. Okay, you can see Elle is a woman of many talents, helping to bring Simone in, and she's on.
Yep. All right, we are here with the 3-time Gold Cup champion, Melvin Twellar of the Netherlands, and his countryman, second place, Simone van Dorp. Tell me about the race, guys. How did it go?
You want Melvin first? Pretty tough race. I went like a maximum in the beginning, and in the end I was totally finished and Simon came back, so pretty happy that the course was not like 10 meters longer. So, but it was really nice to race against all the boys. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a tough race. Definitely closer than last year. Hoffman always can shoot out of the blocks like crazy, and then I knew that was like it would probably happen if I had a good start, but then I would be close, and it was the same. I think at 400 you put in a good push. And then at the end I was trying to reel you back, and I feel like I felt like it was possible, but I guess I started sprinting like 2 strokes too late, so it's that was good on Melvin.
All right, Ollie, I know you're helping keep the boat, but tell us how the race went and how it's been training with these guys.
I arrived pretty late here, so I hadn't really had the chance to train with them. But the race was over after the start, basically. After 300 meters, I turned around and they had been a length ahead already. Then I matched with Tim a bit, but in the end, I had not the sprint abilities.
Yeah. All right, well, congratulations. And you two, how has it been all week? You've been, training together in Philadelphia. You've gotten to get a lot of practices with Tim Breeze of Belgium as well. Like, what has this week been like for the two of you?
It was a really nice week, starting with some wrestling, WWA. Sorry. So it was pretty nice and it motivated us for this race. So, and it's also nice to get to know all the guys a bit better. So really happy that we have the opportunity to do races like this. It makes our seasons more fun, and so thanks for that.
Yeah, I think just going off of what Melvin said, it's always great to hang out with the other singles colors. Tim, for instance, I didn't really know that well before this, and it's been really nice hanging out with him this whole week. It's just been a fun week. It's been good hanging out with Ollie and with Melvin and the girls. It's just been a good time, and then getting here is an extra cherry on top. But it's been a good week.
Yeah. And Tim, you were starting to walk back. I'm assuming you're attributing that to the carbo loading you did at D'Alessandro's yesterday, having your first Philly cheesesteak, right?
It was still a bit tough on my stomach, but it's fine. Yeah, it was a good meal.
How did you think the race went? You were starting to make a walk back too. I mean, if this had been a little bit longer, it would have been a dogfight.
Well, I couldn't see the two Dutch guys, so I just focused a bit on my own race and together with Ollie. So it was a fast race. You couldn't really much react because it was such a short distance.
All right. Well, congratulations to all of you. We're going to be excited to celebrate with you in a little bit. So.
Yeah.
All right, Elle, thank you for the dockside interview. You can see that these athletes are fierce competitors, but also are friendly when they come off the water. But that was a fantastic race, and hopefully sets us up well for our final race of the afternoon here, the Gold Cup Women's Final coming up here at 12:30. You can see from the drone shot, just a beautiful day, absolutely gorgeous day here at the Camden County Cooper River and the Camden County Park here in Pennsauken, New Jersey. It actually seems like the wind may be dying down a little bit here. Didn't seem to be too much of a factor in that race, but we'll see what happens here in this next final. So that's going to be at 12:30, so around about 6 minutes from now. That's going to be pretty exciting. So in this Women's Gold Cup final, just as a reminder, lane 1, we're going to have Victoria Sinkuka from Lithuania. Then we're going to have Emma Twigg from New Zealand. She is the 3-time champion of this event and the Olympic silver medalist. In lane 3 is Caroline Florijn of the Netherlands. She is the Olympic champion. And then finally, we just saw Kara Kohler of the United States here win in the Lotman challenge, and so we'll see if she's been able to get her muscles refreshed and ready to go again as we come up on this final race. But we're hopeful that it'll be just as exciting as what we just saw in the men's race. As we talked about before, a tailwind like this tends to compress the margins a little bit, where some of the athletes, it's a little bit more difficult to grind people down from a strength position. That was about as exciting a finish as you can imagine in a 750-meter race. I think we're probably going to see something similar here in the women's race. Elle, you're back. What do you think?
I think that 700, 750, if it sneaks up on you, you could see Melvin's taking a seat on the dock a little bit, resting. You know, that lactic acid in these races, it just gets you. So they're kind of like jello right now. But they're also, you know, they're taking a seat on the dock because I think they want to watch their teammate Caroline Florin, who is, you know, been living the golden life, you know, between, you know, her world championship wins and now the Olympic medalist. You know, they want to see and cheer her on and support her. But yeah, this race is going to be really strong. You've got Viktorija Senguta from Lithuania, who bronze medalist. She is just a force as we've gotten to know her all week. You know, one thing that many people may not know about her that she shared Thursday evening with us is that she actually, when she was younger, when she was a teenager, she was diagnosed with epilepsy. And, you know, she's on a medicine that is able to keep it under control and she's managing it. But I think she's really been a role model that way, and that, you know, she's been very vocal that it's not going to be slowing her down. And, you know, she's still able to do these things. She has been a very strong rower for the Lithuanian. She also did a brief stint as a cyclist as well. So, you know, she has that grind. She has that adaptability. You know, we saw her at rate this week and she looked really clean. Emma, as you know, Emma Twigg from New Zealand, the 3-time defending Gold Cup champion. I mean, she in women's single sculling is just, you know, she is the GOAT right now. Like, she is the standard for how she is both on and off the water. And she is a veteran. You know, she pushed Caroline at the Olympics like Caroline has never been pushed before. So you can never count Emma out. You know, she's definitely been taking this in. I think she's got some decisions to make after this and when she settles down for the season, but it'll be exciting. Caroline is the one to beat, but, you know, Kara Kohler as well. We would love to see a U.S. person on the Gold Cup. Dawn Spiro is the last person who was, and that was before the Gold Cup disappeared. So we would love to see that drought cured. And Kara, you know, she just had a clean run down for the Lotman, so if she could keep that momentum going, you know, as you've said, this is a tailwind. The conditions are a little bit dicey. This is all about who can manage themselves, both mentally, but also the technique really matters in these conditions. So who can stay clean, who can stay composed.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see that from these wonderful drone shots, everybody's getting set up at the start, getting their point. I imagine that the referees are going to get this one started momentarily, and they're off. Final race of the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like
Emma got off clean in lane 2.
She sure did.
That is that veteran experience. You know, there's so much muscle memory. She knows how to get it done when it counts, but you can't count out in lane 3 right next to her, Caroline Florin. It is those two right now, but Kara Kohler out in lane 4 is in close pursuit, followed by Victoria in lane 1.
Yeah, Victoria looked like she was still getting her point there at the start, so that was a little bit of a challenge for her. But I think Caroline has pushed into the lead.
She has. And Kara is staying
Kara
close right now.
Kohler's
She's
right there.
connected. She got a cleaner start than she usually has, but, you know, she's just barely connected. Caroline's starting to push out, but Emma is not going to make this easy on her.
For those of us that remember the Olympic final, that is a familiar story. Nothing's going to be easy for any of these athletes.
No. Yeah, and so you see those two are kind of trading blows right now. Caroline has the slightest advantage right now going through, but they're, you know, barely at the halfway point at this moment.
Yep, just coming into view, there is not much in it right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a good finish. But right now, Caroline and Emma just trading blows. Interesting to see that neither of them are looking at each other.
Yeah, I think
Just
they know how to
staying in the
race.
boat.
They know how to row from within themselves.
Yeah.
It's all about what they can each do as individuals here. You know, they are just such strong women that this is really exciting to watch. And I think we are going to have another close finish here as the boats are just starting to come into view at the boathouse right now. You can see Caroline's orange uni, and this wind is actually starting to gust.
The wind is gusting, and with that gust, here comes Emma Twigg.
Yep, they are rolling right in. Caroline and Emma, they are going blow for blow right now. Can Emma hold on to be 4-time defending Gold Cup champion? I don't know.
It's going to be.
Emma might be nosing out. It is too close to tell again right now from this angle.
Wow. Let's let him hear it, ladies and gentlemen, here on the banks. This is quite
Look
a finish.
At this. Olympic gold, Olympic silver going, and I think Emma might be squeaking it out. She might be doing what she does best right now. Caroline's got to pop it up, but Emma is walking away right now. Emma is sealing the deal unless Caroline pops it up.
And
Emma Twigg, four-time Gold Cup champion.
Four-time champion.
Caroline Florian in second, Kara Kohler in third, and Victoria Sangut in fourth.
What a great race.
Congratulations, ladies.
Great race, ladies. Wow.
All right, well, I will head down to try to get some post-stock discussions with them.
Okay.
But do you want to thank our sponsors one more time, Julie?
Absolutely. This will be the final thank you, which is really important. Our premier sponsor was AG. Our gold sponsors, U.S. Rowing and Woodstock Corp. Our silver sponsors, Glen Mead and IRM. And then our bronze sponsors, Gutzman and Big. I'm going to shorten that. Our contributing sponsors, Swing Ventures and Dad Vale. And then finally, our supporters for their equipment, greatly appreciated. Couldn't have happened at this Gold Cup final level. Hudson for the boats, and Concept 2 for not only the oars, but also for their rowing ergometers. So that concludes the actual racing of this day. Some fantastic racing, amazing to see athletes of this caliber competing in this special and unique event on the Cooper River here at the Camden River Park in Pennsauken, New Jersey. Just continues to grow, an amazing event. Thanks to you all for coming and participating and watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully if you're an athlete, you've been inspired. Certainly it is inspiring to me, and I know to Elle. Elle's down on the dock. Yep, Elle's down on the dock with our four-time champion, Emma Twigg.
All right, Emma Twigg, four-time defending Gold Cup champion. You know how to get it done. Walk us through that race.
Yeah, I mean, 750 is a very strange distance. So the plan is always to try and stick with Caroline out of the start, because you know you're doing well if that's the case. And yeah, the last 250, I just put my head down and managed to pop the up three.
Yeah, so you are walking away with the $16,000 first place prize. You got a silver in Paris. How are you going to reset when you get home to your wife, Shar, and your little boy, Tommy?
Yeah, feet up from this point forward. Enjoy some time with my little man, and yeah, let's see if I come back next year.
Gotta defend. You gotta go for the 5-peat. What has it been like? Because you've had the entire week to train with these women. So Caroline, Victoria, Kara, what's that been like?
It's always great fun to get to know your competitors, and you get to know them as people outside of the boat and outside of the racetrack. So it's a very special thing and a lovely thing to do over the week. So yeah, 750 metres is just enough, I think.
All right, well, we will let you get out, but congratulations, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, thank you so much for that on the dock commentary, Elle. I just want to point out that there will be an awards ceremony following this, and obviously we've got food and drink upstairs. Definitely it is now, in fact, afternoon locally, so for those who might want to have a beverage, I think I can recommend that. But we're going to have, you can have a chance to chat with these athletes and just show them your support. Really, they came from all over the world, obviously, to be here. I think it's important to continue to show them our appreciation, and that'll be a nice event. Elle is still down there on the scene looking to grab somebody. We'll see who her next interview subject is.
Hello again. I feel like it's only been a few minutes. So we're here with Kara Kohler of the United States, Lotman Challenge champion, third place at the Gold Cup. Walk us through your third race of the day.
Third race of the day. I felt like it was pretty good. I felt like it was a better turnaround than last year. So, hey, I may be getting older, but I feel like that's what it's all about here. So, that was good. Congrats to Emma and Caroline and Victoria for coming out. It's so fun to do these post-season races where we just hang out and have fun and get to do what we love together. So.
Yeah. All right, well, off-season earn, congratulations. We will be celebrating with you in a little bit.
All right, thanks, Elle. Looks like Elle's making her way down to talk with our other finalists. Looks like she's going to try to get Caroline here.
All right, we are here with Caroline, gold medalist, second place in a super tight race with the Gold Cup women. Walk us through that race.
Yeah, the start was very sudden, but I was in front until I think for 100 meters. I thought, oh, maybe this time I can finally beat Emma also at the Gold Cup. But turned out differently. Emma was the best here today, so that's a very good performance for her.
Yeah. What is this week like, being able to train with Victoria, Emma, Kara? Because that's not something you can do very often.
Yeah, I think Emma mentioned it already one time at the dinner, but I think that's the most special about this week, that beside the World Rowing Circle, are able to meet the rowers personal, and when you meet them after the year, you have a personal connection, and that's so valuable for me as an athlete and for everybody here. So I really am so grateful that the event is here and that we are able to spend that time here in Philadelphia together. It's really great.
Yeah. So I know you were focused on your warm-up. Who do you think won the men's race?
I saw Simon won, right?
Nope. Melvin, then Simon.
Really? It's close. Yeah, I thought Simon was just in front, but must have been
The surge and the stroke, yeah. So what do you think about that? Are you going to be ready to celebrate with them later tonight?
Of course, yeah. I still think we should fix the Halloween outfit for later, but of course.
Yeah. And that's the Penn AC Halloween party that Cedar Cunningham from Penn AC will be hosting later this evening for the 21 up crowd. So, all right, we will be back to the award ceremony in a little bit.
All right. Elle, thank you so much. Great interviews. That Penn AC Halloween party sounds delightful. Those of you who are in the Philadelphia area, please feel free to make your way down to Boathouse Row to enjoy that. I will be with my 4 boys, 7 and under, trying not to go crazy. But no, it's been a great event here. Thank you so much. Please, stick around. We are going to have an awards ceremony. That's going to be a nice event, and I think that if you want to come over, chat with any of these athletes, I'm sure that they would be happy to spend a moment. That is part of what's really nice about this event, is just the love of the sport and the willingness to share stories and want to see everybody get better. And I think that's really just a great part of what we've got on offer here at the Gold Cup. So with that, why don't we end with just this beautiful shot of the boathouse on behalf of. Okay, the awards are going to be streamed as well, but let's again, we could not do this without our sponsors. So our premier sponsor here is AG. Our gold sponsors, U.S. Rowing and Woodstock Corp. Our silver sponsors, Glenn Mead and IRM. Our bronze sponsors here, Jake Gutzman and Rob Biggs. Contributing sponsors are Swing Ventures and the Dad Vale Regatta. Thomas Jefferson Dad Vale Regatta. Let's not forget Thomas Jefferson, a great hospital system here and university system here in Philadelphia and growing. And then finally, our supporting sponsors in terms of the equipment were Hudson Boat Works and Concept 2 for both the oars and the Concept 2 ergometers. I'm just seeing that our stake boat holders are coming in. It looks like everybody's safe. Doesn't look like anybody got blown into the water, so that's great. I think a round of applause and a big thanks to those volunteers and all of the volunteers, from the referees to the timekeepers, who've come together to make this event such a great success and to go off seamlessly. Anytime you've got an event where you're dealing with the elements, the fact that we're able to get things off on time and without issue is really a testament to the level of planning that we had here. So thank you so much to all of these volunteers who helped to make this happen. Okay. It looks like what we're going to do is take a little bit of time, get everybody up off the dock, let some of these athletes cool down a little bit more before we set up for the awards ceremony. So those of you who are here on site, you can certainly make your way upstairs to the hospitality area. Yeah, I think we're going to try to do the awards outside. It's a little breezy. I'm watching some of the signs behind me get a little exciting, so if I go quiet, it's because I've been belted about the head. Wouldn't be the first time. But if we can do it outside, it's going to be right here in front of the boat bays, which would be great. But while we wait for that, if you want to go upstairs and just enjoy some of the hospitality, or similarly just walk around and enjoy some of the ambiance, that's certainly why it's here. It's such a beautiful day.
be doing unofficial and official awards, but we're starting off right now with the unofficial awards. So if we do the men's race first. All right. First place, Alan. Second place, Simone Van Dorp. Third, and fifth, Paula Zeiler. Congratulations, guys. Touch the tail.
It doesn't matter which is the girl.
All right. Where are the two more?
Yes.
Next up, we have the women. So first place, Emma Twig of New Zealand. Second place, Caroline of the Netherlands. Third place, Kara Kohler of the United States of America. Skuta. Congratulations, ladies. And watch the guys. I see how much you have there. Look how coordinated they are compared to the men. All right, that concludes the live stream. We will be going indoors once the athletes shower off a little bit for the formal award ceremony.
Tell me when.